All right, let's dive right in. You tap your phone, you move some money, but what's actually happening behind the scenes? Well, today we're cracking open the bank's digital engine. It really comes down to two key parts: a strategic brain running the business and a customer-facing heart that handles all your transactions. We're going to break down what each one does and, more importantly, how they work together. Let's get to it.
So, have you ever really stopped to think about this? I mean, how does a bank possibly juggle millions of customer transactions and run its own massive internal operations at the very same time? It's kind of mind-boggling, right? You've got your deposits and transfers happening in a blink, and then you've got the bank itself with its own payroll, its own budgets, and all those compliance headaches. How in the world do they keep it all straight? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
Okay, so first up, banking's digital challenge. Before we get into the how, we've got to understand the why. You know, the insane pressure cooker that modern banks are operating in these days. It's coming from all sides. You've got customers like us wanting everything instantly, and then you've got regulators watching every single move they make.
And it really boils down to these four things. For a bank to even stay in the game today, these are absolutely non-negotiable. We're talking real-time reporting, super strict compliance, ironclad financial control, and a back office that runs like a well-oiled machine. It is seriously like walking a tightrope 24/7.
So the big question is, how do they actually pull this off? You might think there's just one giant mythical piece of software doing everything, but nope. The secret is actually in using two major distinct types of systems. It's a powerful duo, and there's a really good reason they're separate. They were built to solve totally different problems. Think of it this way. One system's job is to run the bank itself, while the other's job is to serve you, the customer.
All right, let's jump into the first of the two. We're going to call this one the back office brain. And that's exactly what it is. It's the bank's central nervous system, the internal command center that runs the actual business of being a bank. This is what we call an ERP.
So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And here's the thing, this isn't some banking-only secret weapon. Pretty much every big company on the planet uses an ERP. Its whole job is to take all the complicated internal stuff, we're talking finance, HR, procurement, which is just a fancy word for buying things, and wrangle it all into one single unified platform. It's all about making the internal business run smoothly.
So what's this brain actually busy with? Well, it's managing the bank's own money, making sure all its employees get paid, handling all the purchasing, and keeping everything in order so it can pass audits. The key thing to remember here, and this is super important, is that the ERP has absolutely nothing to do with your personal bank account. Zero. This is all about running the bank as a business.
Okay, so that's the brain. Now let's talk about the other half of this equation. If the ERP is the internal brain, then this next system is the customer-facing heart. It's what's constantly pumping the lifeblood of the bank, which of course is all of our transactions. And this one is called the CBS.
CBS stands for Core Banking System. And this is the one you know. This is what you're interacting with every single day through your app or at the ATM. Its entire job is to handle all those day-to-day, real-time banking things. You know, the deposits, the transfers, the loan payments, all the stuff that makes a bank, well, a bank.
Yeah, just look at this stuff. This is where the action is, right? It's managing your account balance, processing your mortgage payment, handling that transfer you just made on your phone, and even logging that you called customer service. This is the front lines, the customer-facing workhorse of the entire operation.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. When you put them side by side, it all just clicks into place. On one side, you have the brain, the ERP, and it's looking inward. It's focused on the bank's own health, its own strategy. And on the other side, you have the heart, the CBS, looking outward. It's all about serving you, the customer, and making your transactions happen. See? Two totally different jobs, which is why you need two different systems.
But, okay, think about it. Just having a brain and a heart isn't enough for a person to function, right? They have to be connected. They have to communicate perfectly. And it's the exact same story for a bank's digital ecosystem. This is where things get really interesting.
Because this is where the real magic happens. The true power of a modern bank isn't just about having a great ERP or a great CBS. It's about how well you can integrate them, how you get them to talk to each other instantly and automatically, creating this seamless flow of data.
Let's walk through a super simple example. Say you deposit some cash. Step 1, the CBS, the heart, instantly processes that and updates your account. You see it on your app right away. But here's the cool part. In the background,
the CBS immediately sends that transaction data over to the ERP, the brain. And then the ERP takes that info and updates the bank's main financial books. So the heart pumps and the brain records it. It's all totally seamless.
So, why do all this? Why is this integration so important? Well, the payoff is massive. When these systems are connected, the bank gets a single source of truth for all its finances. It can manage risk way more effectively, and it can easily prove to regulators that everything is above board. It gets rid of tons of manual work and gives the people in charge a real-time dashboard of the entire business. It really is a game changer. And this isn't just theoretical stuff. These are real, massive software platforms from huge tech companies. So for the brain, the ERP, you'll often see big names like SAP or Oracle. And for the heart, the CBS, you'll see more specialized companies like Temenos or Finacle. It's a mix and match world. All right, let's wrap this up. I want to make sure you walk away with a super clear picture of how this all works. So here's your final takeaway.
So here's the whole thing in a nutshell. You've got the ERP. Its purpose? Back office integration. What's it used for? Finance, HR, compliance, all the internal stuff. Then you've got the CBS. Its purpose? Front office banking operations. What's it for? Your accounts, loans, and payments. And when you put them together, boom, you get enterprise-wide visibility. That's how they manage risk and do their reporting. Look, if you forget everything else, just remember this one simple rule. ERP equals inside the bank. CBS equals customer-facing banking. And when you put them together, you get the complete financial ecosystem. It's really that simple.
So next time you open your banking app, you'll have a little picture in your head of what's going on behind the scenes, that powerful heart and strategic brain working in perfect sync. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What other black box systems are out there, running our world, just waiting for us to take a peek inside?